Peace. I want to talk about how basically this is as above, so below, but it's also as within, so without. But then it's also micro, macro, a whole bunch of things, right? So we have cells. We are made up of cells, but let's like break it down even further, right? So they say that the atom is the smallest bit of matter. It's like the smallest bit of matter that can't really be broken up. There is like subatomic particles that is smaller than atoms, but for now we're just gonna talk about the atoms because, yeah. So we got atoms, right? These atoms bond together, and then they make molecules. Then they make macromolecules, and then they make organelles. And then once these organelles are formed, the cell is formed, right? It's fucking glasses. Then they make, organelles. Let me restart. Atoms bond together, and then they make molecules. Then you have macromolecules, and then you have organelles, cells, I believe, tissue is next, then organs, the organ system, and then the human being, or whatever animal you're talking about. But we're talking about the human being right now. So, if you look at the human being, right, we have organ systems and we have organs. We have a brain, we have a bladder, we have a digestive system, we have lungs, things that produce energy, all of these things, right? We have a heart. So then you look at the cell. The cell, we're made up of trillions of cells. Trillions of cells are different types of cells. You got brain cells, neurons, you have bone cells, you have blood cells, white and red blood cells. You have cells that make up every single part of your organ systems, right? And these cells bind together. I believe it's called cell adhesion. They bind together and they create what makes up the tissue for your organs. So they bind together and they make the lungs. They bind together, they make the heart. They bind together, they make the brain. But if you look on a micro scale, you will see there's just a bunch of cells. Like, for example, the brain has 100 billion neurons. 100 billion baby neurons working together to basically make up your brain and also communicate with each other, to send out certain commands, to feel the stimuli and respond to the stimuli, basically. External stimuli. When I say that, I mean like it's cold outside, right? Let's say it's cold outside, my skin feels it. Ooh, my basically you have the brain and then you have the cerebellum, I believe. Basically you have that, you have the spinal cord, right? The brain, you have the spinal cord. The spinal cord goes all the way down to the base of the spine, right? I wish I could like show you on a diagram. Well, I can't actually. Let's do like this. Yeah. So you have the brain, and then you have the spinal cord that goes all the way down to here, right? It's a bunch of cords and nerves. So then these nerves branch out, and then they extend to my legs, my toes, my hands, my fingers, my arms. They extend to everything so that I'll be able to feel stimuli. I'll be able to feel stimuli from the world and then respond to it. So let's say I touch this and it's very hot. I'm like, ooh, that is the stimuli saying, first of all, this is hot, right? This came all the way from my finger saying that this part is hot. So then when I move, that is a response to that stimuli. So that is just one type of cell. That is just a brain cell. But we have trillions of cells that make up our body. And each of these cells have organelles, which is basically baby organs. Each of these cells have their own organs. They have their own brain. They shit, they piss, they decompose. Not decompose, but they die. they reproduce. You know what I mean? Everything that we can do, they can do. They're literally living. Cells are alive. So it's 150. Well, this is what Yaki says. It's 150. The melanin body has 150 trillion cells, but I don't really know about all that. All I know is we have trillions of cells, right? So there's a trillion baby microscopic cells that are making up your entire body. Like trillions and trillions of baby yous. They have their own brain, they have their own organs, and they're making up you, and they're working together to make who you are as a person. They're making your entire body. So these cells also eat. They eat whatever you eat. So if you eat garbage, then the cells are eating garbage, and then you have a microscopic pile up of garbage, and then these cells start to then turn into disease, cancer. They start to form abnormally. Abnormal cells are basically cancer. That's what it is. Cancer is just abnormal cells. And when you keep eating junk, and processed foods and mucus forming foods, this mucus begins to calcify, which means it begins to harden. And when it hardens, that's when you have arthritis, that's when you have all these different diseases, that's when you have blockages in your arteries and all of these types of things. So, long story short, we have trillions and trillions of baby cells inside of us, right? Now, if you look at the human body, we're just like cells. We're just like those. We have organs, and we have purposes, and we have duties. We're all different, just like the cells. The cells are all different. For example, like the neurons, they focus on commanding and communicating with each other to send out commands. And then you have the heart cells, and then you have the blood cells, and all these different cells. They have different jobs. They have different things they're supposed to be doing, and they make up certain systems. So just like humans, they all we're all made differently. We all have different passions, different likes, different dislikes, different experiences. We can reproduce. We can die. We can create. We can bind together to create something larger than ourselves, which is what the cells do. So I'm just coming on here to paint a larger picture as to the micro compared to the macro. The micro being the internal cells that we have within our body, and then the macro being us out here living in the world, right? So let's say inside my human body, let's say that I am a blood cell. I'm a blood cell, but I can communicate with this tree right here, and this tree is a neuron. It looks just like it. Let's say this tree is a neuron, and I can flow through this. Well, me being a blood cell, I can flow through the entire body, but I'm seeing this tree, and I can communicate with this tree, or not communicate, but I can provide the circulation necessary for this tree. And basically, I'm just trying to say, the cells work together. The cells build, the cells create, the cells unite and turn into one. The cells communicate. The cells, I don't know if I say reproduce, but yes, they do that, and we should be doing the same exact things. If we look at the micro, we can see what we're supposed to be doing on the macro, sorry. We look on the micro, we see what we're supposed to be doing on a larger scale, the macro. So, and I don't even think it ends with us. You feel me? I don't think it ends with us. It's a repetitive cycle, because you have atoms that make up the cells. So the atoms will basically be like the cells. And then you have subatomic particles that make up the atom, and then you have basically the atom let's say the atom is a cell, and then the cell, the atom has cells, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on to shit we can't even see. But just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Long story short, everything is made up of energy and these tiny, tiny microscopic particles. And it goes on and on and on infinitely. So imagine what's out there. What's larger than ourselves. Like, let's say that we're all a bunch of cells, and we're on this earth, in this plane, and let's say that the earth is one big ass cell. So we're cells, the earth is a cell, and then the universe is a cell, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Who knows what the fuck is out there? But what I'm saying is, everything in nature, everything within our body is working together to contribute to this larger system that's larger than itself. The cells are working for us. The cells in our bodies are working for us. That's a much larger system than itself. They're microscopic. And look at me. There's trillions of cells just making up who I am because they decided to bind together, come together, unite, and create what is now me and you and whoever else, right? So even plants have cells. Plants have cells, animals have cells. Bacteria has one cell, you know? So like, long story short, look at what these microscopic things are doing and compare them to your life. Compare them to who you are as a person and compare them to what you see around you in nature. Study biology and compare the microscopic things and organisms to, the microscopic things to the macroscopic, to what you can see and what you can control in your life. Every single creature, every single living creature contributes to the world, everything. In my previous video, I made a video about the trees and how they compare to, I was comparing the trees to the neurons and how they look just like neurons. They communicate just like neurons with each other. It's just a deep ass video. You got to watch it. But what I'm saying is, if we look at everything out in nature, even within ourselves, everything works together. Nothing competes with each other. Everything works together. Everything plays its part. Everything plays a specific role, and overall, they are contributing to the universe. They are contributing to the growth, the development, the evolution, and of course, the change, the reproduction, the health of the universe. That is basically what every single living organism or thing or cell or atom is doing. It's all contributing together to make this world what it is. And if we look at our lives, we really don't have to put so much pressure on ourselves to try to be successful and try to do all of this. We just have to be, and us being is enough. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go after your dreams, because that is not true, but go after what makes you feel happy. Go after what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Genuinely happy. And it would naturally, whatever you genuinely find happy or that you love, naturally, because like I said, we're focused on nature, right? So whatever you naturally bind to, whatever you naturally are attracted to, whatever you're naturally good at, talented in, go towards that more. Whatever, like you could out of nowhere you could see a guy painting a mailbox, and then you just like, wow, like I'm so fascinated with this mailbox. Then you start researching more about mailboxes, and then you start making your own mailboxes, and then next thing you know, you are a billionaire because you created some better thing to make mailboxes better. Who knows? But the point is, go after whatever makes you happy. The smallest, tiniest things that you would never even think of. Go after what makes you happy and learn more about it. Submerge yourself in that, and you'll be playing your part. You won't have to worry about if you're doing the right thing and if you're, you know what I'm saying, good enough or successful enough or whatever the case is. As long as you're doing what makes you happy, what you love, nothing else matters. And that is basically what the cells are doing. They're doing what they're made to do, what they're created to do. Like, there are some people out here who have beautiful ass voices and who love music and who love singing. That's what they're made to do. That's what they're created to do. So they're going to come out here. They're going to use their voice to help inspire other people, to help heal other people, or whatever. Whatever the case is. But yeah. Do what comes natural to you. That is my whole point of this video. I hope that everything connected well. I hope you understood what I was saying. But yeah, do whatever comes natural to you. And basically, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that our higher purpose here as humans is to just be connected to nature and to each other. Being connected to each other is being connected to nature, because we are nature. We're a part of it. So yeah, that's all I have. Peace.